Gigi is an Austrian pro snowboarder, and he's ranked amongst my top 10 snowboarders for a very long time. He's a smooth, innovative, big mountain freestyle guy, and he's had parts in movies by Absinthe, Kingpin, Burton, Pirate, Volcom, Brain Farm, Red Bull, and more. You get the picture. Gigi's unique style and powerful versatility have lasted over an almost 30-year pro career. About a dozen years ago, he started Slash Snowboards in the spirit of progression, individuality, and standards. So honored to have him on the show. He's a true legend and a really nice person. Here's an FNRad interview of Gigi Roof.
Those news were not that sick having to get glasses. It's a pain.
Have you ever been snowboarding and like a contact lens like pops out into your...
No, I'm lucky like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, when I run sunnies,
Yep.
yeah, it gets a bit dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, man. So I was so stoked. Let's start here. I was so stoked to hear somebody explaining that at the Jamie Lynn art show, you were showing photos of your original Jamie Lynn board from 96, I think that one was, right? 95 or 96, I can't remember.
Yeah, that's been the model I've referenced this graphic of.
It's epic.
But it wasn't
we'll put
mine.
The graphic in right here.
But it's it's that generation, sort of my generation, that wanted that board. So when I made it, handed out the catalogs for Slash, people seen it and they would send me those photos. So I've never really owned one because I always wanted one.
Oh, I thought you.
But the pictures
one.
I showed was from somebody else's board, and
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool because
I have to get one now from a collector.
Yeah, they're so expensive because they fell apart. Actually,
oh,
they were
the lunch trays.
Yeah, they were trying different glues because like LibTech at that point is still Mike and Pete owning the whole thing. Just like guys trying to make boards, not trying to make money. They were trying to make
just
boards.
Years before the series, like the models and the series came out, probably they were still doing art tops. Like Jamie was talking about it, how they were actually drawing on the top sheets themselves.
Yeah, I think we had art tops at the same time we had those hibiscus boards. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Did you work there?
So I didn't work at
like...
LibTech, but I worked at the Canadian distributor for LibTech at that time.
Okay.
And those Jamie Lynn's had like ribs and all this crazy tech. And then they would fall apart, which was so sad because they were light and they rode amazing.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to try one.
Yeah, yeah.
Like 30 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I was doing the math.
Now it's a theme. I mean, obviously, the ATV or the Slash board holds its weight.
Yes, totally, man. Yeah. Well, let's talk Slash. When did you first start it? It seems like it's been 10 years, 15 years, 20 years.
Close?
Yeah.
2012?
2012.
Yeah. So, actually, Supernatural was the first year.
Sick.
When I dropped in on the Slash, yeah.
Yeah, my friend David had one, and they looked so dope, like lightweight, that nose shape.
Yeah, it doesn't, the kickstand, the board doesn't fall over when you set it next to the wall.
Yeah, it's sick.
Yeah.
What made you, who were you on at that time, before Slash?
Volcom boards.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I had the stretch for 9191 and did all the red stuff with Volcom.
Was Volcom, like, did they make boards kind of as a, like, gap for riders that were on Volcom outerwear that just...
They wanted the logo out there.
Yeah.
They wanted to make boards with the logo. I mean, they wanted the riders to carry the logo.
Totally.
Yeah.
But they didn't make production to sell in stores and stuff, did they?
No, and they did with Capita and Nitro, and that's when I saw that is not going anywhere, and I'll start my own brand.
Oh, that's rad.
Yeah.
You were young at that point, too.
Well, so before Volcom, I was on Burton for more than a decade.
Yeah.
And done boards with them. So that was kind of my learning experience.
Yeah, it seems like when you work with Burton, you've got access to some great designers and material engineers and like
they take the rider-driven part really by heart.
Yeah,
and especially when Jake was still around, and
Did you get to meet with Jake and like?
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, there's one memory that I have. He would come up to. My uncle had a mountain cabin in Austria, and with that comes the permit to run a snowmobile on the road.
No way.
Up the mountain. So I had a snowmobile, and I put a leash on it, and Jake was behind, and I pulled him up the mountain. It was like easily 45 minutes, and I would not stop. He was so strong.
That's insanity.
He was so strong.
Yeah, pulling out of the Whistler backcountry, I don't know, I'd maybe rather walk out at this point.
Yeah.
Like, that's so bad on your arms.
Yeah.
Jake
did it.
That's so amazing. That's incredible. So you grew up
taking swervy turns all the way up.
Was he like enjoying himself?
Yeah,
like,
it seemed like that's why I did not stop. I was like, all right, give him a little more pull here. Riding the banks.
That's
on
so
the way
sick,
up.
Dude.
Yeah, what a man.
Yeah, what a crazy thing that I only learned this maybe last year or the year before, that Europe doesn't have a lot of snowmobile access stuff.
Yeah, because it's all privately owned. There's no public lands.
Right.
No,
like the village would be in the mountains, right?
Yeah, and how do you say, the property?
Yeah,
belongs to the villagers.
So you can't just like snowmobile.
Yeah, we don't have no king. We don't have like the only public land there would be designated water streams or dangerous areas where there could be nothing to build.
Like potential landslide areas, that kind of thing. Oh, I never thought about that because I grew up in Canada, where I don't know how much of Canada is like parks.
If you would drive your snowmobile, if you have like a way access permit, it includes the whole way.
Yeah.
But you're passing so many partials of owners.
Yep.
That if you cannot change anything within that. Like everybody takes care of his own square that he owns.
Yeah.
In the woods.
Yeah.
Cleans it up.
Really?
Yeah. So it's not, if there's someone that don't like you with smelly snowmobile. He'd be standing there and
really
giving you the heat.
Mean mug.
Yeah,
that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, or sent the police after you. I had to pay fines.
Really?
When I had a snowmobile, just by using the cross country road.
No way.
Yeah.
And so somebody reports
some neighborhoods would call the police, like there's somebody driving a snowmobile on the cross country track.
That for real?
Yeah,
you pay fines.
Then the police would be waiting the next place because it's all linear in the village.
That's amazing. Yeah. So did you grow up in the mountains proper?
Yeah. Like it's only like 800 meters high.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's still higher than anything where I grew up.
Yeah, and then it's a village, so the mountains go up on both sides. And,
so rad.
Yeah.
How old were you when you first started snowboarding?
Probably 11.
Yeah.
10, 11.
What kind like that's pretty early. What kind of boards are there at that point? Like
I do remember my brother had like all white top and base, like we called it Inferno.
Okay.
And hard boots bindings.
Yep.
So a 80s shape.
Yep.
But we were just at the beginning of the 90s. At that point, I started snowboarding.
Yeah.
And they were like the first kids boards around, like, again, Burton catalog and looking at the Burton Air. And
Oh, yeah, that little Air, the micro Air or whatever.
Yeah.
Not the,
Four something. Or 3. I don't even know.
That's super sick. And did you hard boot out of the gate or did you?
Yeah. hard
kinda
boot
have
and
to.
rental board,
Yep.
because it definitely was too much for the parents to buy everybody a snowboard.
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the
Especially
kids.
that early. Did your
Yeah.
parents ski and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is typical for that area. And really, growing up in the village, we would always look forward to winter because the lift started spinning. You had something to do, and it was easily winter, 6 months out of the year.
Yeah.
That's a big stretch.
Yeah, man.
And so, yeah, that was the main, or is the main outlet, for activities.
What's the winter, not to go dark here, but what are the winters like now? Is it still 6 months? You still get...
No, it has changed.
It
It's
has,
crazy.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's definitely, if I can say that, fucking with my head, because
Yeah.
you get like one really good stint out of the year, it seems like. And
Yeah.
thinking back when we were filming videos, we'd be constantly in the snow, or even as kids.
Yeah.
We'd be around St. Nicholas days, having snowball fights out in the road when the days were short.
Of course,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, isn't that weird, hey? Is that there's still some people out there just going, well, it's not real. It's like, dude, it is so real that the world, weather patterns
Has
are
changed.
changing.
Yeah,
has changed.
Yeah.
I've been out west in Canada for over 30 years. And I think when I started, I'd say we had one bad year every 10, let's say. And then maybe the next 8 years there was one. And then maybe the next 4 years there was one.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Ontario.
Ontario.
Yeah.
Then moved west.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because just seeing snowboarding and...
Really, that drove you out
Oh
west?
my God, yeah. Because
The mountains.
Yeah, like my local hill would be about the size of the top of this bunny run here.
Yeah.
Just right there, right?
And
Yeah,
how
maybe
old-
where
how
the
old were
excavator
you?
was.
Like
Yeah, I was probably 14, 15 when I started with skateboarding, and then maybe 16, 17 when I started with snowboarding.
Everybody went to the bunny hill.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't, you weren't allowed. So
Yeah.
yeah, my buddy couldn't do it, so he got dragged up backwards on his back, just holding the T-bar.
Okay, yeah. T-bar is not that easy
Yeah.
to begin with.
Yeah. And I mean, it felt steep, so it was probably about as steep as this bunny hill here.
Uh-huh.
And so he just learned to do it like that. He went up backwards on his back like 5 times.
I did a few times too, like, he getting over, like, not getting the T-bar in, and you're just gonna
You gotta
man
muscle
up
it.
and hold all the way up.
Yeah, because if you, what are you gonna do if you let go? You fall down.
You're gonna miss your friends
And you
shredding
gotta miss your
down.
friends, totally. Yeah, there were people who walked up, like kind of just because they couldn't ride the T-bar. They would just walk up, and it was about the same speed.
Yeah, I guess all the beginnings are with a little, learning the how and about, and sort of like being a daredevil.
That was
in a way.
it.
That whoever did have that spark had his freestyle genes already implanted.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there weren't a lot of people in snowboarding in the early years that weren't like rebellious or, like skateboarders or that kind of thing. Or casual. Like, you know how it is it is now.
For us, it was like definitely a new trend.
Yes.
Starting.
Yes.
And most of that, comes with like importing the sports and same as with like what was BMX back when.
Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Like something you do, some new transport.
Yeah, because remember how big BMX was in the mid 80s.
Yeah.
I guess it would probably get over there late 80s, early 90s even still too.
Yeah. I didn't think of it first as like being something rebellious.
Right.
That has maybe happened at that time.
Right.
And to me, I was just simply fed up by skiing, and that I did not do very well with it. However, was not good at it. And so I started snowboarding, and it was fun.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, we would go together, and then ask mom always for new stuff,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and that didn't really pan out. So she would cut and sew everything we wanted. So out of the catalogs and
Really?
out of the snowboard catalogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we would have transitioned into like actually also wearing the cool stuff that snowboarders wear.
Yeah.
Our
Are
mom
you saying
cut
she
and
would
sew.
make it?
Yeah.
Like she would sew it?
Yeah.
Where would she get the material?
Me and my brother would be almost like a team look at first.
Yes.
But then we all started picking our own colors for the next year.
That's amazing.
Early on.
Do you still have that stuff?
I'm so stuck in that moment. I'm still doing the same thing.
Yeah.
No, I don't. But there's places you can buy fabric.
Yeah. 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 My mom would make like surf shorts.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't buy them at the time, or maybe you
grandma
could.
would knit hats.
Yeah, sick. That's so sick, actually.
We always got what we wanted in that.
You'd pick
some
it up,
sort of ways.
Yeah, from the catalog. You're like, okay, I want this Burton jacket, and your mom would like reverse engineer it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Were there
the Craig Kelly hat with the
the tassels?
Strings.
Yeah,
tassels.
That's sick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that so much. Were you a Burton guy as a kid?
Just because they had the kid stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And really, there was no other other brands.
Right. That reached.
Because it was Burton, kind of spreading around the globe.
Yeah. Well, Austria had a lot of endemic brands, right? Like Elan's from Austria, I think.
Yeah. And so Austria is a ski country, and so it's may already be something rebellious to do something else than skiing.
Totally.
But it did not seem like that. We were just getting zoned into snowboarding, and
trying
the most publicated magazine was the Burton catalog. That's where we got the first kind of instructions,
tastes of it. Yeah, this is how you should dress. This is what you should do.
Other brands we wouldn't know. I mean, there was a binding company, hard boot binding company nearby. So Alpine race boards were more common than freestyle boards,
right?
To begin with, went from there.
Did you ride your freestyle board with hard boots for the first few years?
Sort of like the Burton Air.
Yeah.
But then my brother definitely got soft bindings, and me too.
Yeah.
But we didn't have, like, as kids, you would not have any boots.
Right.
Yeah. Unless you're like...
Oh, so did you have to clip your hard boots into your soft bindings?
No. I used moon boots, the foamy ones.
Yeah, dude, that's epic.
All my army boots that at that time, actually, I don't know what it was, but I think I visited the army shop for my first time, and I really wanted camo pants. And
hell yeah, dude.
That's kind of like was my first time I went begging for something from my parents that I wanted, and my mom would ask dad, and it was one of those first officials, like, he really wants that.
Yes.
Should we buy it for him?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing you in moon boots and camo pants, on a Burton Air, just like, because you would stick out at a resort, right? Everybody's riding hard boots. All the rentals are hard boots.
Yeah.
And here are these rebellious kids who, you don't think you're being rebellious. You're just...
No, I mean, there was really a group, like also older ones, like also in school, and there, like, there's always been sort of the cooler kids.
Sure.
That were the skateboarders.
BMXers, skaters, that kind of thing. Yeah. Would you guys build jumps and like just jump in the air? And
yeah, wind lips, jump out of wind lips. And
that's the best in the beginning, the wind lips.
Yeah.
Because it's just this huge... We had a wind lip at like the local sand... I don't even know what it was. Like, but yeah, it was just a big round mound with a hill in front of it.
And learned your tricks.
I can remember seeing guys hold the trick so long that they landed on their knees, like with still grabbing the board.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Doing a suitcase.
Total suitcase. Yeah. And it was so fun. Those days were just so incredible.
Yeah. And for me, from there, it happened quite quick because I found the first snowboard shops, skateboard shops, and then we would drive like with the bus an hour and actually go visit the skateboard shop. And I actually, being with the cool skaters, I remember like even at the bus station or train station, we would bleach our hair in the toilet.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Like totally changed back home. Like it was...
Yeah.
You gone on like a 1 hour bus ride and you come home totally changed and like got stickers and just the world was complete.
Remember how important stickers were, you know? Like just even getting a sticker was like a pretty big deal. Yeah. Free shit, exactly. I remember having to pay for stickers, like looking in the thing and then going, okay, I'm going to save up for that avalanche sticker or whatever.
No, I was always the one that was looking nice with the eyes and hoping to get something for free.
Was your first sponsor like a shop sponsor?
Yeah.
What was the name of the
that's
shop?
where it started to really like the blinds started lifting with like how transports were imported.
Right.
You know, distributions were behind it and all that. The shop was called Hot Shop.
Hot Shop.
Yeah.
Dope. That's sick.
Yeah.
And you get sponsored and then they start saying, okay, there's going to be a contest here.
Yeah, we would drive there with the bus, with the van.
Yeah.
All together, yeah. And so the first road trips started to happen with all the different characters there are in snowboarding and the skaters amongst snowboarders. And I mean, that was definitely it.
Was there like a series over there? So you would wind up in Sweden sometimes or Finland or wherever?
No, around Austria there was. And we would always have an influx also from German snowboarders. Germany doesn't really have any mountains.
Yeah.
I mean, there is resorts.
Right.
I want to say that. But the series has happened more in Austria, like Austria Cups. And that's where... Nicola Toast would always win.
Yeah. And she deserves more shine, Nicola Toast.
Yeah.
She was sick.
Xaver Hoffman.
Yeah. Sick.
And those and the whole aestheticers. They're still doing a lot of competitions for the youth.
Good.
In Austria. So it's from snowboarders.
I'm sure that they were pretty big on board once the Olympics starts recognizing snowboarding, like you can win a gold medal or whatever.
The Aestheticers, you know that club? Around Steve Gruber and Wolle Newveld.
Yeah.
And Friedel Kohler, Beckner, Gogo Gosner.
Gogo.
Yeah.
We rode with him when he came to Canada.
They had this club and you could only enter competitions when you're a part of a club.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like that's like the competitions were organized by the federation, and the federation has their small regional clubs underneath, and that's kind of like where you draw your insurance from.
Right.
To be part of
You have to
the
be
club.
a member. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we had to be a member of FIST to go in some of the things that I went in, little border crosses or whatever.
Yeah, so the aestheticers were definitely not having that. This is at the break of like ISF.
Yeah.
And the FIS getting sort of involved, and unfortunately the ISF went bankrupt.
That sucks.
And then we were like, no, like snowboarders against FIS control, and those stickers were around.
Big time.
And obviously Terrier's move against Olympics.
Going to the Olympics.
But up until that, I should mention my sister. She actually started working for Hot Shop.
Yeah.
Like shop sponsor.
Sick.
And had a car then at that time, so she was shredding. She became Austrian champion, etc.
Wow.
And we would be on the road always together, so she was kind of like also holding that ticket for me that my parents were cool that I'd be going all these places and around Austria, like driving to Innsbruck, which is 2 hours away from where we grew up. So spent a lot of kilometers in in her car and going places and
That's super
meeting the
sick.
people that became later on, pirate movie productions. And yeah, it's a small world.
Did you
I have to say.
compete on the Burton days and then go into filming, or were you filming right from the beginning?
No, it was always competition, and it was peaking to be like on the list of invites to Air Style.
That was
obviously
a big
the
deal.
biggest event in Austria.
Yeah. Did you win it?
No,
You got,
I got second on a
Second.
side event, which
Yeah.
was called the Quarter Pipe Challenge.
Yeah, I remember
And-
the quarter pipe
And
challenge.
so I was really young, but it was only held as like a pre-comp to the main event, and you could win a ticket to Munich Quarter Pipe Challenge. So this was an indoor event, and I think that was my first trophy I brought home.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aaron's style was, I mean, that's the proof that that an event can put like a brand on the map, right? Because it was different sponsors throughout the years, but that was the first place I heard
first
Red Bull.
was Red Bull, exactly.
That was the first time.
Quicksilver.
It was like, what is Red Bull? And then someone brought it back from like Indonesia or something, and I was like, oh, it kind of tastes like
Austrian,
medicine or something.
Yeah, Austrian company.
Yeah, then I had like 5 of them or something, and I was freaking out.
Yeah, I was told not to
By
because
your
I was so
parents?
young.
Yeah, or by everyone.
And it was expensive.
Everyone's like, don't have
it
that.
It would probably cost like 5 bars of chocolate instead of 1 can. You could always have like food.
Right. I love it. That's awesome. So when you're traveling with your sister, are these day trips or are you staying overnight? No, you have to stay for the contest.
Yeah. We would stay overnight, like in hotels, like regular events.
Yep.
Yeah, for like here.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed.
Except, I mean, still calling up my sister and such and such. But yeah.
Was that your sister you were with today?
No. Mm-mm. No, unfortunately, no. We have all kids at home.
Of
so
course. You're
this
not
is-
still just hanging out. Right. Of
Yeah,
course.
some things do change, but not like on the belief side.
Right.
Just on circumstances.
When do you get on Burton?
That's a good question. I think I was close to 16, 15, 16.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Do you remember the first box you got from them?
I went there. It was the Innsbruck office. It was
Okay,
really
okay,
small.
yes, yeah.
I was never really shy. I was like just waiting until I had something, and then I would leave.
Yeah.
So and maybe it was one of the, now in hindsight, maybe a bit annoying ones, but I like to hang out until I had something in my hands and could run.
That's amazing. Well, I know the Austrian distributor, I think it's still the same guy.
Yeah, Hermann.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Hermann Kapferer. Yeah,
and he's
he built that up with Jake. He was in the logistics side,
Yeah.
like running a logistics company. Then they started with Burton Sport Articles. That's what the company was called.
Burton Sport Articles.
Yeah.
I love it. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And so do you do like a few years where you moved to somewhere in the States? Like Utah or something?
No.
always were
I
out
was
of-
always sort of rooted. I mean, my sister enabled me to do so. So I just always had a strong connection to home because they let me do what I wanted to do or could do.
Yeah.
And so I never felt the urge of having to fuck
To
off.
move, right, and join the other.
Yeah, but I should tell you, before Burton, through the shop, I was already sponsored with Volcom as a
Whoa.
13-year-old.
No way.
Yeah, and Black Flies, Hazmat.
Dude.
I had Purged. I had Regis Roland make me my board
No.
in my size.
No
Yeah,
way.
it was the connection ran really tight with the shop and the distribution behind it, which was Glide Company. It was called because in the 80s, they were doing hang gliders.
Oh, sick.
And then, they got into importing those sports like mountain bike. Like they would do all sorts of sports, but it became really the snowboarding because winter sports were so big in Austria.
Yeah, and snowboarding was just exploding at that time. You rode a purged board? Did you ride the scabs, that like super soft, crazy?
Yeah, I wonder if it was at that time where they were like bought with all into like it was kind of like a bundle of like Shove-It boards, Vision boards. I think the second branding of Vision.
Yeah.
And then there was Purge. It had a pumpkin on it, and I always thought it looks like a Todd Richards board, and I thought I was like riding Todd Richards board. Did he ever have to do something with Purge?
No.
But there was a pumpkin on which
we can figure out what
goes
board
back
that is. It's a dope board. They had the greatest graphics, those boards.
Yeah.
They looked so good.
Yeah. I mean...
and plucked bindings, that was...
PBS?
The PBS, plucked binding
I was
system.
writing PBS baseless bindings on my HAZMAT 129.
That's how small it was.
Yeah.
Oh my God! So you're still just a kid.
Yeah.
And you got baseless bindings. The HAZMAT was made at Mervyn.
We also had... Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But I also had a stint where we were laughing at Gus bindings. Because they were baseless bindings made out of aluminum.
Yeah.
And they would break on the first go.
No.
Yeah. So I learned early on like what it needs to have like good bindings and strength, but
totally
we wanted the baseless. I was riding the only boot I found in my size later on was the Vans Lemming.
Yep. No liner. Super low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Low profile.
Like basically just like a boot for walking around the village. But like you could tweak in those still.
Yeah.
Yeah. Local guy from Vancouver made them.
Bindings.
I think I rode that same setup.
Yeah, I could show you a picture probably, but it's...
You send me the picture and I'll put it in. I'll put it in the show. That's rad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what an era, right? Mm-hmm. So you can spin and you can tweak, you can grab your board. It's a sloppy setup. Baseless with lemmings.
And everything was skate.
Everything was
based.
Skate. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So ollie that way.
Yeah. I mean, I just saw some Tarquin Robbins footage from that era, and I'm like, dude, that's good by today's standards.
Yeah.
It's not big. He's not going huge, but the style is so good. The pants, the fit. All of a sudden, there was like an aesthetic to snowboarding.
We would stand at the bus stop, me and my friend, at the end of the snowboarding day, and our jeans pants were frozen. Yeah. We would wear regular like ski pants underneath and the baggies over.
Nice moves.
And we could stand the pants alone.
Yeah, totally.
The bus stop.
And the hoodies would get all icy at the back.
In the back, yeah. Oh, 100%. Flannels.
Unbelievable, dude.
We did it all in that sense of fashion.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, kind of jumping ahead a bit though, when you go onto Volcom boards, were there other offers on the table?
So I left Burton because out of a running contract from Burton, because Volcom offered like the same.
Yeah.
Like it was during an option year.
Yep.
That's like pretty much I have the option to take on another brand.
Yep.
Only if they cannot match the offer of the other brand.
I get it.
And it was the same offer I got from Volcom that I had with Burton, plus a movie. And Burton was not going to do a movie, and Volcom was. So,
sick. What movie was it that they did?
9191.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Yeah,
you filmed with some
it was
crews.
Billy looking after me, Billy Anderson.
Yeah, dope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Volcom was so unbelievably dope through all those years. Hey?
Yeah, definitely. And the option I had with Burton was the Unink program died down.
Yep.
And I could have started something with Danny Davis.
Oof.
And I felt like, after the the stretch we had with Anink and
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
the marketing behind it, and the claims about like snowboard is not about the money and it's keep the dream alive. I felt like if I am now doing something else, I would be becoming uncredible. Yeah, like people would, like, all these years we poured our heart and soul into Anink, with, you know, everything we learned from it and believed.
Yeah.
Like maybe the only belief that changed during the Anink days, which was 7 years
Wow.
of board making.
Sick.
We came up with the 2X, the channel. We had the first EST. Like there was some riding development going into that. Plus we had the freedom to express ourselves as in each rider had its own length. So we would curate the whole graphics, everything. Yeah, we could do it all. We could make our own ads, first page in the magazine.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's so sick.
That's where our royalties went into marketing. Like we would not earn any royalties during this.
Oh, that's
but we
interesting.
could express ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And I did not want to throw that in a bin, and
Right.
And it was always a dream. Obviously, being also my first sponsor to write for Volcom.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I did that.
That's unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like imagining the Danny Davis, Gigi Ruff series.
Well, it
What the
became
heck
Easy
would it be?
Living.
Easy living.
Yeah,
Easy living stuff.
Yeah, that's what Danny made out of it. So all chapeau.
Which
Yeah,
is sick.
He did good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have like some old email printout from like the brainstorming we had up to the point,
Rad.
but it was really for Danny the best thing to happen, which happened to me and also Trevor, Andrew. We could before Anink there was 7.
Yeah, 7 was unreal.
Yeah, we were doing 7, and I think that Easy Living sort of took that
vibe, that aesthetic.
like, and everything it was a restricted program to core shops.
Yep.
That's what allowed smaller names to make a name for themselves in expressing them through the graphics and the whole rider-driven thing. Because Burton had a global team of riders, which I guess, I mean, the Uber pros.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had,
during the
Terry,
7 era.
Michael Chuck at some point.
Yep.
Ross Powers and Jim Rippey, the
totally.
ones I knew from the catalog.
Yes.
The big earners.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how, like, we found that niche in those restricted programs.
DCP was involved in that too.
Yeah. So yeah, with DCP during the Anink days, he also then went back to custom model.
Rad.
Another interesting fact in there is Roman.
Yeah.
He was the only one who was going Uber Pro,
Yeah.
but decided on stuffing his Pro model and not getting royalties from like a Burton sold Pro model. That could have earned him bank. He went to Anink.
That's insane.
Into
That's
the group.
rad.
So what I did learn
that's
during
not
those,
insane. That's dope.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good
so
call.
that's where the pig comes with the slot cross, like
Yeah.
with the money slot
With the money.
cross.
Yeah.
Like we don't put money, we live in the day sort of idea. And with what I learned throughout those years, I touched on it before, was is snowboarding a team sport? Because I was always in that bundle of group of people, and like, I mean, we were running our individual characters.
Yeah.
And it also pans into not having settled for like moving to California or going crazy with those ideas of like what influences.
Yeah.
I was put under, and at some point leaving Burton to Volcom, I was kind of breaking the belief of it being a team sport and sort of like doing my own thing.
Yeah. Coming back to like becoming because at that
exploring,
time,
it's like, you have something you're holding on to that works.
Yeah.
To break out and do something new, and to me it was like, okay, if I have the chance to make a movie where there was, Subject Hawkinson before, or just those incredible Volcom movies.
Totally.
So
The Garden, really, really
Freestyle
unique.
Swing, Freedom Vig,
Exactly. Epic.
Rara Avis, all those.
The aesthetic was so good.
Productions.
The aesthetic was great. I mean, they had a
Must-
surf
mu-
house on the North
Must
Shore.
have been some
Like-
influence of Sione in some.
Of course, man.
Yeah.
What a unbelievable character in those days, too. Eh?
Yeah. I would
still now.
replay on the VHS his side hip moves in Boreal Park.
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
how did you do that Cap 5 on the side hit there?
That's amazing.
Yeah, like on repeat. Like, oh, it's a fake you ollie.
I have definitely, like, I spent time at his place when I interviewed him, and just spending time with him. He's such a brilliant. He's really that guy in real life.
Yeah.
Like, holy smokes.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Yeah, I think out of that group of people that are and were involved with Volcom, there are definitely some genuine characters, as in like, yeah, making something themselves.
Jamie Lynn, yeah, definitely.
or the owners like Richard Woolcott and Tucker Hall, Ryan Imigart, and those guys. They were like always felt to me like either they had a band, or like living this lifestyle, and making something out of it. Yeah.
I saw in Subject Hackinson, Terrier was on there so early that the stone, he has it upside down on his board.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like, I guess it could go either way. It looks more like a V if it's upside down.
Totally. Yeah.
And I was like,
That's
wow,
true.
it's so early in Volcom. It was an aesthetic before it was a thing. It's like, what is this?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember
Group
really.
of people.
Yeah. Cool group of people.
Mm-hmm.
So did they discontinue the board program and you're like, okay, I'm going to do Slash, or did you?
Yeah, with Unink, you mean? But
No, with Volcom.
with
you did a
Volcom.
few-
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's good.
But it happens in the same way.
Yeah.
Now, so when I saw that Volcom was doing like kind of franchising the stone onto boards of other riders, like Dan Breezy had the stone on it, and then later on Nitro riders as well. I knew like the one clause in the contract was going to be like, if there's a stone on the board, you earn more money. So it became a marketing thing, and I thought like that's conflicting with my self-expression. I want my snowboard graphic to be what I want it to be.
Yeah, we could talk about that. I don't know. You're friends with the guys. I remember never be bought, never be sold on the tags of everything, and then they were bought. It was weird. I remember.
You
being
mean
like, Volcom? Like, I remember being like, what's happening with this thing, and how will it survive being bought after that? And it somehow it still was cool, even though it was like this huge box store.
But I left at that time.
That's where
when it became bought by the Karen Group, and went to bigger group, Wall Street. However, not knowing too much about it, but it conflicted with what already was always a bit of a discussion point of like youth against establishment and this and that, and then a company growing to such heights that certain things are not how they used to be.
Right, because you're just giving examples of guys like Roman and yourself, like where you're opting out of this big money thing because
we don't know better.
Well, or you do know better, right? Because
to
if you
keep
look
it alive,
probably. If you look at what happens with Volcom, till now, and I'm not shitting on them, they got humongous, like the biggest in the world.
Yeah, the stone.
Yeah, the stone. But it's had they at that point said, okay, let's refinance ourselves and stay big, but true to ourselves. I don't know. I'm talking out my ass here because those guys stayed with the company as long as they could.
Yeah. Definitely. It's always hindsight, right?
Right.
You look at the whole picture and what decisions you make. But I always inherently made conscious decisions of, you know, what I thought was right. It's
integrity, right?
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I had a stint where I was writing an energy drink sponsor, but
Which one?
Burn.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. It was definitely at that time. All that came up, all the different, like, even different companies in different countries, or telecom companies coming up. But it was that time of FIS taking over into the sport and like making the half pipe competitions, etc. And snowboarding gaining more of the picture again. And we could finance like projects, like video projects. Probably was like that, those times of where the internet started up with like YouTube and content and all that. But I always thought, like, Burn, we had a really good group of people that would allow us for projects. Like, they did a piece on like the history of snowboarding, etc. Anyway,
rad.
But it comes down to the fact of making those decisions. Even nowadays, it's like you should inspire the youth to what it is. So I just notch on energy drinks. That the industry let them handle so much of where Burton used to do a great job in like elevating their characters on the team. Like, that was what I would call the golden era of like magazine first page. If you made it into the Burton team and were on that first page, you were first seen, and
yeah, man,
and you were out there,
totally
getting out there. Nowadays it's more like, do I have an energy drink helmet, and is that how you make it in snowboarding?
Isn't
That's
that
a big
amazing?
question.
Right? Yeah, I remember probably the first person to harp on energy drinks in my circle was Terrier, when he was just like, I'm against that. And I was like, oh, I never really thought about it. I needed energy. There was this drink. It was kind of cool. I saw it in the magazines, and then I was like, oh shit, I saw it in the magazines, because this addictive thing is like making a lot of money somewhere, and we're pretending that this is what made us snowboarders. That's not what made us snowboarders.
It comes down to, and that's the reality, like, the can doesn't cost much, so they must earn shit ton of money and have to pour it into marketing to get rid of all that money again.
Right, sure.
Because on bottom line, you need to
grow bigger and bigger,
or even out. Like, the money you earn, you gotta spend. And I guess that's where we kind of saw how the industry is going. If like the companies cannot pour money into their characters and team and elevate, stardom.
Right. Yeah. What about Liquid Death? That's from Austria, isn't it?
Liquid Death? I don't think so.
No, it's from over there somewhere.
But there's a lot of mineral waters.
Yeah.
Sparkling waters. Hey, there's also a lot of good. All I wanted to say was taking decisions, away from money and more towards the cause of snowboarding, and actually, like, self-expression has always been a big thing.
Yeah.
In snowboarding, I've always felt like, even though you're like in a tight-knit group, almost like you.
Yeah. It's like a paradox. It's like you're in this small industry expressing yourself, but then there are some limitations to what you can do. You know what I mean?
Interesting, huh?
Yeah, it is crazy. And also, what a youthful idea, like Seven on ink, like so youthful, like so much energy. Even Volcom was very youthful in its energy. But then we all are getting older, and now we're having kids, and it's like, well, I could use some money to buy a house, or, you know what I mean? Like, well, if I use money responsibly, you know what I mean? It does become about money on some level.
Yeah. Definitely being the spoiled kid now, it's always sort of what was there, nothing to worry about, for sure. So definitely when I was on the road, and that's probably what other team rider friends also use was when you're on the road, you have your expenses paid to a certain extent. It was part of the contract. Yeah,
Totally.
You're on the road, and I'm on the road for free.
Right.
So it definitely
kind of easy to be like, I'm not about money. I'm
filming.
Yeah. That.
Yeah, no worries really about money at that point. Because if you have done your homework, and thanks to some really main character and individual, Blado.
Sick.
Yeah, was our team manager at Burton. He would even do the homework for us, cut the pictures out of the magazine and send them to us, and we sent them back to Burton to get paid on.
Oh, I might have to cut that out because he still works for them now. But no, that's
no. It's like
it's legit.
It was labeled under scrapbook work.
Yeah. I love that. I love that.
It's all good, man.
Yeah, I met Blotto for the first time this year, and what a sweet character. He's been in it forever, and his photos are insane.
Yeah. And he would get all the magazines. Just saying.
That's really rad. Yeah, Craig Kelly was probably the first snowboarder, definitely the first snowboarder to write a really good contract for the athlete. And so he would have his sister cutting out like newspaper clippings.
For me, it was David Schreiber. Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
He helped you out? He
was at Burton.
Yeah.
Giving out the contracts, those first ones in 96.
Sick.
And that's when the whole 7 team got assembled.
Yeah.
And already then we were considered in the global team.
So, Brad.
Yeah.
That's epic.
Yeah.
Man, that's so fun. So let's talk about Slash and where it started, and because there's been some just like structural changes over the years, right? Like you started it or you thought you were starting it as your own brand, but then it kind of turned out that Nidecker was just owning the trademark or something, right?
Oh, yeah. I started with Nidecker.
Yeah.
Because Nidecker made the Volcom boards for Arthur and myself.
Yeah, and those are good boards. Those Volcom boards are really nice.
And from once the Volcom contract was up and I could start Slash, actually Arthur was there. I was like, what are you doing?
Sick.
But it started with Nidecker. They were all like helping to get it off the ground. At that time, they also had started Jones, Yes. So I was a bit the breakaway. If you look at the picture, I mean, when I mention Yes, it should spark within you that those were the Anik guys.
It was.
And I did the solo.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and you're all at the same
I was not welcome in that first sales meeting.
Really?
Oh, they had some issues, Jones and Yes, with Nidecker, as in like the board quality.
Yep.
And when I was getting in there and they realized that Henry Nidecker is financing another brand to come up.
Right.
They were eyeballing him for like, you better get our shit sorted before you start something new. So I was getting marked in there.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I was I'm not welcome in here. But I can understand it. I mean, having a lot of warranty returns and such, that needs to be figured out, and they did, definitely.
So what's your first year offering? Did you have like 3 boards and 2 sizes or something like that?
I had multiple sizes, but 3 models.
3 models.
But one was out of the same mold, but two different cambers.
Oh, cool.
So it was like full camber, and as Nidecker at that time, and it became a word, called it Camrock.
Camrock, yeah.
Yeah, Camrock version. And the third model was the straight, and that was what I would say the first freestyle freeride, I should say directional shape freestyle board. Do you get me?
Yeah, I totally get you. Yeah, because the custom
at
was
that
like
time,
yeah.
I mean, Burton had boards that were dedicated to that cause, like the supermodel.
Yes.
But where nobody was looking was at like they made directional twins, but they didn't make directional boards.
Right, directional freestyle. Shape. Right.
It's the longer nose.
Totally.
And that's what helped me writing these comms. Nature selection.
Yeah, you were like actually building the board for this kind of riding.
Yeah.
Big mountain freestyle.
And the shapes, everything was just different.
What was the Johan board like? Was it like a precursor to the supermodel? I don't know if you know.
Yeah. I have one of the Johan models.
Sick.
And at that time, all the shapes looked the same. It could have been a balance. It could have been a supermodel.
Right. Yeah. Remember?
That's what I was getting bored with as well. And that's where I started, over with my own ideas.
It looked like a twin, but it wasn't twin.
No, it had like 2 centimeters longer nose for sure.
Yeah.
But I felt like, go and rip a page out of the history books and start different shapes. And really for Slash, I wanted to have an identity without having to read the name on the base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, did you do name on the base for you?
At the beginning,
for the first couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm sitting there, drawing everything out and doing it. Like really, the whole brand thing was mine.
Yeah,
with the experience from the sales meeting where the others were like, "You need to do this, Henry. You need to do that. You need to look after our paychecks." Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
and I just delivered the package and had it produced there, and. That's kind of like how I saw wanting it to be.
Yeah.
And
but then I think at the end of the first year or second year or something, you're realizing, the contract with Henry with the Nidecker family isn't what I thought it was. Like I'm not getting where's my money
paid
coming from?
Yeah. John Paxton was the team rider who had also a pro model.
Yeah.
And I wanted Slash actually started out as like a platform where I could help riders to get the board they need.
Sick.
Yeah, so the tagline was based on fact, know my shit.
Yeah.
And colored by personality.
Sick.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so rad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember it caught my attention right away. Like, ooh, because as a consumer of the product, right? I don't get to see it until it's in a shop. Mm-hmm. I go to the shop and I'm looking on the wall. Ooh, what's this? Mm-hmm. And it had clean graphics, a rad shape, thin tip and tail. I remember looking, going, "Oh, this is a machine."
Yeah,
and
there's a lot of groundwork to do to explain a product that looks different on the shelf.
Totally.
And I think throughout the years, not like really. Like the pats on the shoulder I got was always when somebody would come in and take inspiration from that. I thoroughly believe that Slash has changed the shop floor in those years.
Rad.
Last 12 years.
Yeah, because it was a weird time in snowboarding.
Yeah, I mean there were other brands pushing, like the Quiver Thought, I think it was just about to start then.
That was really close to the start of it, you're right.
And even the Jonesboro were both round. And when I started Slash, I have to say, the only thing at that time that was really outside the box was Corey Smith with his spring break boards, but they were not really like snowboards.
They weren't there yet. They weren't.
They were like big coffin shaped things, and it was like
they were art pieces.
And so to me it was like the shape needs to have an identity and show that.
That's smart. That's forward thinking. And so then after the first couple of years, did you take Slash to a different manufacturer or what happened?
I didn't like Johnny Paxton and me not getting our contract pay had me say, okay, I don't want to lay on your pocket. I'm just going to do it 100% myself, and that's it. Buyout. So I bought the trademark from / trademark from Nidecker.
Did you design it in the first place? Like, was it your design?
No, we had like my friends.
Yep.
Graphic artist, and who we, luckily they got paid by Nidecker.
Good. Yeah.
So
yeah.
Friends,
And then
friends getting paid.
Good. And then Nidecker, they
the trademark is about the name.
Yeah.
The name /
Yeah.
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 And not so much the logo.
Okay.
But the logo and all, like the corporate identity was done by friends.
Yep.
Paprico, who also designed the logo from Simstern. Don't know if you know that brand.
Nuh-uh.
No, but it's it was an intense work relationship at that time. Like, we had a lot of things to do with like designing the ads and like the whole thing.
The catalog, everything. Yeah. Yeah.
Where before, takes almost an army.
Totally. So then when you get control of the company yourself, what's are you now, because you're still a professional competing snowboarder at that point.
Yeah. And I had a network of distributors.
Yep.
At that point. And tried to keep communication up, which is not, like you say, an easy thing.
Yeah, it's a full-time job.
But I always thought of it complementing my career.
Totally.
I had sponsors at that time that paid the bills. I was on Nike after Volcom.
Oh,
and that's where when we filmed Never Not, and I got to work on a lot of projects.
That's rad. Yeah.
And designing boots.
That's incredible. Yeah, those boots were pretty great. I didn't admit it at the time. I was like, I'm just against Nike on principle, which it's crazy, right?
Tell me about it.
Un-Ink to Nike. I can remember being in a movie premiere where Nike it wasn't Never Not, obviously, where Nike was just a sponsor of the project. And there was like a Danny Cass ad in the beginning, of the movie. Mm-hmm. And the crowd booed.
Yeah.
And then someone went, oh, come on, guys, be nice. And then someone else said, be nice to people who've used kids to make their shoes, and like it was like a ruckus at the thing.
Yeah.
So, but Nike, now I'm like, those boots were dope, man. You put them on your feet, they fit really well. Mm-hmm. People swore by them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the whole cheap labor and kids labor, one got to think about where the bags come from when they're produced in Bangladesh and etc.
Totally.
You can throw
socks,
dirt at everything.
Yeah, totally.
Also, us sitting here always have, and then the world is changing. It's becoming warmer and everything, and difficult subject.
Very difficult.
Yeah,
right.
And especially navigating such things where, after all, being just a rider,
mm-hmm.
leaving sort of a timeline behind of like talking in this interview about reasoning and influence and etc. And influence being the main driving factor. Where the forward thinking and all that is happening. I gotta say, it's always like when a group of people comes together and has ideas and gets along and wants to do something, definitely money at the end becomes the problem.
Isn't that the thing?
So that's fact. And with Nike at that point coming in, it was an assembly of really good people, and a lot of people I knew from Burton then as well. And not only that, it was just a time where I felt like snowboarding has now, hit like what should I say, recognition and it's going somewhere.
Yep.
And then it imploded.
Right. Yeah, those Nike contracts are the biggest contracts maybe
I
ever.
don't
for,
know.
like-
I always want to know what Terry earned like in '98.
Everybody wants, yeah.
Or Jim Rippey even at some
I
time, because
wonder.
I think he's getting mentioned not so often. But I always liked Jim Rippey's boards so madly because
he had so much input into them. So Paul
must be.
Fidrick, the last guest on the show, was there at that time. He was the global, director of production of all categories.
Yeah.
And so he would get the calls from Rippey like, okay, change the paint a little bit like this, you know what I mean? Which is not easy to do. But Jim was cared about the way the board looked.
Yeah.
Like a lot. And
they had their process down.
Yeah.
Like that's how we got to do what we got to do with Anon Inc.
That's rad.
And prior to 7.
Yeah. But the money thing, it's like when you become an owner of your own company and now you're going, okay, well, we need money to do this.
Yeah.
We need money to do that.
Yeah.
We need to sell more boards in order to get more money to do this. And you're setting the price because, like on Inc. mentality, it's like, why don't we give boards away for free or whatever? Why don't we get a program where half the boards go to, kids just starting up for free?
I mean, we were fine with the thought of it going at least to the core shops.
Right. Yeah, I shouldn't say that it was far, but yeah.
And I guess drawing the circle over to Slash, it's definitely a family business. It should earn, but I also see, and we're talking about big companies starting up a program for snowboarding and stopping it, and energy drinks and all this money talk.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, when do you start selling your soul? And then it's with that. In all those companies, we see once you sell it and get investments, it becomes hard to navigate the future. So, it's a tough one.
Yeah, it does.
I'm definitely feel like I'm lacking business sense sometimes. But then again, I have to remind myself it's just snowboarding. it's not that important. Like,
I love it.
I mean. That I've been going on for such a long stretch in my life, when my dad is a plumber and is, fixing heating systems and that, and I mean that could, be also work, and
Totally.
I'm like still living the dream over here.
Totally.
And so navigating a rich walk.
Yeah, man. Well, that's why having you at Natural Selection with your boards, getting, this is an opportunity for you to get word of your boards out there. And
if it hasn't landed yet, I'm getting tired of it because it's the best boards.
Right.
But then all my friends have sponsors. They cannot even try it. Or they don't dare to because maybe they're gonna be hooked.
I like that a lot. Yeah. Let's.
I mean, definitely riding high on self-expression.
Yeah.
On that part, and my wife wishes it will, pay some more.
Of course.
Because, I mean, it's really just.
I think even if you were
holding it like balance.
Yeah.
I do need some sponsors to keep me in there, and with Slash I started up doing camps.
Oh wow.
Slash
where?
Experiences.
Yeah, where at?
We had this year our first camp in Japan.
Nice.
With 4 campers, and it felt like being back in the filming days with a group, and we're traveling to places, finding the best conditions, and at the end we have some videos to show and a good time.
Dude,
and
how
so
do
it's getting back to it.
Yeah, how do people get in those camps?
Minus having a project. The project is the camp.
The
now.
camp. That's dope. How do people?
So I
They just reach out to you at on your.
No, we try to promote it through our channels and you know, get the fish on the line.
Yeah, dude.
Or how do you say?
Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah.
But it's definitely a thought, you know, where I'm like, maybe possibly not losing sleep over it, but it is a commitment also, like how long and or more a realization of how long in my life it's gonna be snowboarding playing the main role.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think a lot of guys.
Now I'm like out there. I mean, with all war and shit going on in the world, like still putting myself out there to travel. Yeah. Like, do I not want to rather sit in a cave somewhere and do nothing?
Yeah. Dig a
hole. But snowboarding has given me so much.
Yeah.
So I'm getting emotional right now.
Ah, man, that's sick. So, yeah. I mean, when I think of guys like Terrier who was so sad that ended the way that it ended. And it's complicated and it's dumb.
Yeah, and the same with Nico. But
too.
Bottom line, and this is they always meant so good for snowboarding, everybody, like people first.
Yep.
Yeah.
Both those guys. Yeah, especially Terrier. It's not fair what happened to him at all that way.
But Nico the same with JG. You know, but things like we are saying, companies and things change, and it's radical to see that the humans involved in there, they're keeping the spirit up and stay involved and like I said, put the human factor first.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's why. Yeah, you're carrying a lot of weight on your shoulders when you're coming to NST because there's so many names.
Well, I was wondering if Terry's gonna be here.
I was wondering the exact same thing. Or Nico. Saying. Yeah, because that would be.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be sick to have like and this is, I don't want to be insulting to you, but to have a category for like absolute legends. I mean, you're still competing with these kids now at that level.
That's the thing. Like what happened with me saying like, is snowboarding a team sport, or are you in it to win it, and things like Kevin Young once said in my first video, don't get caught up in the circus pit. And things like this, they just resonate in me. And then I'm thinking about like the legends. I gotta say, Travis is right in there. And if I have to admit that I'm there as well, so-called legend or however, or in that category of seniors, it's definitely make me happy. And with carrying weight on my shoulders, it's just such good memories I have, and that good intention that the people put out, or the vibe they have with snowboarding, and that I know, by the example of Terry or Jamie, like I just stopped holding back in like loving snowboarding.
Yeah. I mean, all those people you just mentioned, there are people that, Devin Walsh comes to mind, just watching them ride down the hill. Kevin Jones, when you're just riding and you see them, it's like enjoyable just to watch them make a turn, and you're in this category
and what it has become like within the genres of snowboarding, like Jeremy Jones, like doing so much for, snowboarding as well. Like he had his trilogy, and out of that came the success. So at some point I am looking at a formula, what works for the brand, and I had so many good goes at it with support from brands, and to market myself and to be seen, and with that always comes like like general appreciation, I guess, for this community in snowboarding. And definitely wanna share more from it in a way where you feel like, okay, we're totally in the prestige state of like okay, that's what we love doing, is sliding on snow, and what it takes is buy the ticket and all this and that, and there's a lot. It's a hustle. It's a lot to it. Like, it sort of like, what is the formula? You know, I'm seeing Worm take, like, as a newcomer in NST here.
Yep.
And him like acting like his dreams just shattered when he did not make it. I was like, oh, but you made it this far.
Yeah.
Like, we have something going on here.
Something,
you know,
so
we are here
rad.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is the, yeah. I mean, the NST group, and you guys are being in Revelstoke, like, everyone is in kind of the same place at the same time.
Yeah. That's what made me sort of opt out of filming, was I was fed up of the bubble.
The bubble.
Yeah. And I went to FNRad World Tour to make friends with skiers, to know that side a little bit. And just breaking out. Like, I've lived such a long stretch in snowboarding that I wanna, feel.
Are you saying there might be slash skis one day, or
No, you got me wrong. It was more of like seeing the broader picture of it. You know, like being in the filming bubble, and I'm talking about like you can't not be close-minded in something that how we live.
There's this interesting thing that I heard from Jody Wozniak about, Man Boys. Like, imagine having a crew like Man Boys.
Oh, yeah.
And then going on a trip.
Rusty.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Multi-talented.
Yeah. And, like, he puts those edits together so, like, it's so fun. Mm-hmm. And he's so talented. And then you go on a trip with, like, one of your teams, and you're kind of battling it out with the other guys on the team, because if you do better on the trip, you might get the spot where you're getting paid and someone gets cut. Whereas when you're with your friends, the Man Boys, you're really with your friends. There's nothing on the line. You're not battling each other. So I never thought of that before. Those filming trips could be like, you're not with your friends. You could be with someone that you don't even like.
That was early on, but nowadays we know everybody knows everyone.
Yeah. And the brands aren't putting together trips as much as the riders are.
Run a filming project, and I cannot talk for it myself because it's in the past. We will figure out our sponsors before, so there will be no battling.
Nice.
To get the project done.
Right.
And what I'm saying, breaking out of the bubble, is more or less putting on those trips, and like, I guess we had those hot spots where you meet the full crews and everyone, but I much rather have an event and a party with it rather than everybody doing his own thing.
Yep, that makes sense.
That's what I like about something like NST, where you meet everyone again, and
it's an event.
Thinking about everybody that could be here.
It takes over the whole hill.
Yeah.
Like, everywhere you go, people are rubbernecking, looking, oh my God, is that Mark McMorris? It is. Oh my God. And we're
becomes
riding.
A lively thing again.
Yeah. It becomes a really
stardom.
Yeah. That's awesome,
around
dude.
Here.
All right, I'm going to let you get to your day, dude. Thank you so much for sitting down with me and doing an interview. I've been a huge fan for forever, and a fan mostly of your style on and off the hill. Yeah, like, just the way you carry yourself is super dope. Yeah,
I hope you could get something out of this interview, even though I don't know where my head is at.
We got it. We nailed it. FNRad shoutouts to Gigi Ruff. Thanks for coming to the FNRad NST studio and doing it up. Special thanks to Reese Hughes and Joseph Kraft, who are buying a couple of FNRad custom boards, helping me fund a trip to Sweden, I hope. This interview marks the end of season 11. We've got some bonus content planned between now and season 12, so stay tuned for that. Also, this is going to be the shortest off season that we've ever had. because at the behest of Ken Auk and a couple of other people, we've realized we should start our season kind of at the tail end of summer instead of at the real beginning of winter. So yeah, I think we'll be back in August this year to start season 12. And I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of Scandinavians at the beginning of this one. All right. Thanks so much, you guys. Thanks for a great season. Peace.